Amy.
Exactly. Y'all get back in y'all's lane, or I will punch you in the face. She won't even have to get up. I'll be to come after y'all. Woo! Woo! Welcome to the NerdCave News. I am one of your hosts, Zach Dykes, joined along with... He's the tower that flaps in the night. He's the ingrown toenail on the foot of crime. He is Darkwing Duck. Let's get dangerous.
Okay. That, even though that is licensing, I like it. I do like the Darkwing Duck. So, it wasn't my favorite cartoon growing up, but I did appreciate it. I liked, no, that was DuckTales. Never mind. But the theme song for Darkwing Duck was good.
It was best. It was best. Don't be coming at me. It's not original, chat. Don't even be coming up in here. I see you, Dan. I didn't write it. And if y'all want to fight, I'm sure Amy will punch y'all in the face. Come on.
I know better not to cross Amy.
Exactly. Y'all get back in y'all's lane, or I will punch you in the face. She won't even have to get up. I'll be to come after y'all. Woo! Woo!
Two things I learned real quick was Zach. Not to cross Amy, not to say no to Miss Teresa.
Yep. Coming up in here. Coming up in here. You did do that one, love. Yeah, you did. I think you did that one. Let's look. Anyway, I'll get back to that here in a minute. This episode is brought to you by our wonderful patrons. You can become part of the ship, part of the exclusive crew by going to patreon.com/nerdcave, just like our wonderful crew members. The first mate, Brandon Hicks. Our helmsman, the conductor. Our gunners, Richard Newell, Daniel Sanford, Rushing Waters Yoga, Marilyn James, Brittany, the Granny B, Harrison, and our deckhand, Martin Sager. If you don't have the extra bucks to toss our way, you can go support us by using our Epic Creator Code in the Epic Game Store on any game purchase or in-game purchases like Fortnite, Rocket League, them Fall Guys, them guys that's falling around. The little bean guys, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Now with Astrobot Costume.
What?
Now with the Astrobot Costume.
Even better. Guys, you can go get Astrobot. You be cool. Yeah. You can do all of that. Use our Epic Game Creator Code, NerdCave, at checkout to support us with each and every purchase on the Epic Game Store. Darkwing Duck. This is the NerdCave News, where each and every week we run you through all the video game news that you need to know. You can watch us live over twitch.tv/NerdCave Network on most Thursdays. Sometimes it changes around because we sporadic sometimes. Or you can watch the show later on youtube.com/NerdCave Network. Make sure to hit the follow and subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything and like it so more people will see the video. We also have an awesome podcast version of the show. So, guys, it's available on Apple, Google, Spotify, Stitcher, and Anchor. Go subscribe and listen to us each and every week. While you're there, leave us a 5-star review and support us. 5. I didn't say 4. Did I say 4, Derek?
You might have said 4, but then corrected yourself to 5.
No, I said 5. I said 5. So anyone that puts anything below a 5, we will find you. We will find you.
What? So what if it's like 4.99?
Nope. It's a 5 or nothing. If you're coming up in the dojo and you put anything other than a 5, why are you even there?
I'm correct.
Yeah. Or you be calling collect because you're gonna be in jail. Oh, baby. You see what I did there?
Lord.
You see what I did there,
Lord.
Derek?
Already.
You see what I did there?
I see. You get your cookie, Zach. I promise. You'll get it after the show.
Mm-hmm. I'm just looking at the names here real quick. Yeah, Amy Irby. He's the terror that flaps in the night. He's the ingrown toenail on the foot of crime. He's Darkwing Duck. Let's get dangerous. Now, I'll read some gems out here that I haven't touched.
Okay.
because there's no exposition here. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay.
Mr. wants to move to Florida but gives excuses.
Okay. I felt like that one was shoehorned in, but sure.
Bearded can't find a razor. Bassus. Bacchus? Bascus? I don't even know.
Are you okay?
The Bard of Bartholomew of Troy
Okay.
is one of them. I'm trying to get this. My screen's like blowing my face out. I feel like I'm getting like a tan over here.
Not even outside.
Yeah, I'm not even outside. Did I use a vampire one at some point in time on you?
I'm sure you did.
Okay. I'm just
I
trying
feel like it was like, I feel like you used a it was either like a vampire-esque one or a vampire one. I feel like you used it already this year, like January, like one of our early shows.
Mm-hmm. Roscoe P. Sweetbread Jenkins. Leader of the Trolls Dolls, Derek. Whippy
Okay.
Big Mac Mastersons.
Okay.
See, like none of these I can like use because they don't have any exposition. And
Right.
like if they're really good, then I'll make something up on the spot.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because you're that good.
You want,
because you're the master of last minute.
You want to see an example? Here we go. He's a man that makes art while he farts. It's Ezekiel.
Yep. I'm about to say, I think you used Ezekiel too.
Yeah, I don't know if I did that one or not. I don't remember.
No, you did.
Okay.
When you said Easel Ezekiel, I remember that one.
Yeah. Creator of the PS5 never plays subreddit. I has no time. I know we did that one.
Yes, we did.
I just had to bring that one back up. Guys, we're going to get into the news. But before we do that, our March Game Club game is Horizon Forbidden West. Oh, my Lord. It's,
yes.
It's so good. It's so good. And guess what? We had a community member. He was like, I'm going to finish this thing right now.
Right. Way before anyone.
Yeah. Yeah. He was like, I'm not waiting for y'all. So
I'll do my own.
Yeah, I'll do my own thing. I'll do it on my own time. Gigi's in the chat for Dan, the man.
Yep.
He doesn't wash because he's dirty. Dirty Dan himself.
That's why he's a sweaty boy on Halo.
Yeah, he's a little sweaty. Like he's like, yeah. He's moist. He's
like
moist.
A moist towelette.
Yeah, like like when your brow gets like a little like moist.
He's misty.
Yeah.
He's misty.
Yeah, yeah. So GG's in the chat, guys. We're playing Horizon Forbidden West right now. I'm enjoying it. How far are you in, Derek?
I am, oh my god, I forget the hour count, of course, now, but I'm level 22. So I am a good, at least, I'm probably closing in on, oh my gosh, probably 20 hours, probably more than that. Actually, no, I think I'm closing in on 24 hours of total gameplay time. Like Dan, I'm doing a bunch of side quests, doing just pretty much just exploring the world, all the question marks on the map. Mm-hmm. I just go through. I'm going to minor gameplay spoilers for you, Zach. But another thing, we're talking about things we don't like. I don't like the tall neck feature in this one. Like the tall neck, in the first one, you did it, you unlocked the whole map, you could see it. This one, like you go from fog of war, can't see in front of your face, to like a mist. And then it's like you have to still walk around it, and it covers like the totality of the map, like a full picture. And it's like, who thought this was a good idea? Like, why did you think only a partial mist was a good idea for when you unlock a tall neck? I don't get it.
That's stupid.
100%. Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's 100%.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that.
Brandon, he's my salty elf. You referring that to me or Dan?
He's talking about Dan.
Okay.
Dan gets salty in Halo. Brandon gets salty in Halo as well.
Right. No, Brandon gets so salty he just says bye.
So, but yeah, I've been enjoying it. I got to the first sneak mission. Like I did some sneaking around. I love the new animations for like stealth takedowns on
Yes.
humans. Like it just
Yes.
felt way better. It wasn't just like, like stabbing somebody with like the
Right.
acrobatic like nature of it all. Like I really like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
It felt
Or
more,
like coming up behind him and doing like a glorified 1,000 Years of Pain.
yeah. That's literally like anytime I come up against like a machine, I'm literally like 1,000 years of pain. Pow. Kakashi Sensei, you've taught me well. You've taught me
Yeah.
well. And those Florida people be salty. That explains all the salt life stickers.
You know.
True. Very true. Very true. But guys, we've got the gaming discussion to get to tonight. And Derek, we've got a game that just won't die.
I know.
It just won't
like
die.
It's a dead horse that just is a zombie at this point.
Yeah. Just won't die. Just won't die. That game, of course, is GTA 5. GTA 5 and GTA Online, PS5 and X and Series X and S pricing has been announced. No free upgrades.
It's like the soup Nazi from Seinfeld. No upgrade for you. No free upgrade for you. Which to touch on that, I'm obviously there's going to be people up in arms like, oh, everyone else is doing free upgrades for their games. Why aren't you doing it? It's like, look, the game's been out. They have to make a turnover for all the time they spent upgrading to the Series X and S and PS5. But let's also be real. They need as much money as they can for GTA 6. Because if all the rumors and all the speculations are true for what they have planned for this game, they're going to want as much money as possible.
Well, it's also killing the cash cow. It's like once they put out GTA 6, it's like, can they capture lightning in the bottle a second time?
Right. That's also true. Well, now, how about this? 6 single player mode will be a factor, but it will be the online mode because we saw with Red Dead, great story. Online is good, but it doesn't hold the numbers that GTA Online is.
No.
So, but to go over pricing, and now the reason I put this in, because at first I thought it was just going to be like a quick hit. But then I read into the weeds a little bit, and I'm like, no, this is a breakdown because it is different for Xbox owners than it is for PlayStation owners. So for the PS5, it will be 75% off for the first 3 months of launch, which the game is launching in just a short, like a few weeks or like days at this point. So it's right around the corner. So for the first 3 months of launch, it'll be 75% off and it'll be priced at $10. After the 3 months, the game will cost $40, and this version of the game includes a single-player story mode and GTA Online. The standalone version of GTA Online will be completely free for the first 3 months. After that, it will cost you $20. Now, on the Xbox side of things, you get a 50% discount for the first 3 months of launch, making it only $20. And after that, it will go up to $40, just like the PS5 version. And it'll be both online and story. Whereas the online version will not be free at launch, but will be on sale for the first 3 months at $10. And after that, will go up to $20. So now, granted, Sony has had a relationship with Rockstar. They do. GTA 5 has always had some type of exclusivity with PlayStation. I'm okay with the price difference, like it being like $10 less than the Xbox version. But online should be free for both of them because of the microtransactions that come of them. They should be like, obviously, yes, they do like after the first 3 months, whatever, if they charge for something, that's fine. But I think for this initial launch, like both versions of online or both console versions of online should be free for the first 3 months. But that's just me.
Yeah, I think it's kind of strange that both sides, it's like essentially running 2 different SKUs on all of this. It's very convoluted and complicated. And you also have to have PlayStation Plus to get the PlayStation 1. I'm sure gold comes into factor as well.
Yeah.
And I think maybe PlayStation is kicking GTA a little bit of money. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm sure there's a deal under the table for sure.
just to get that kind of, oh, well, you get it free for this, get it for cheaper, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
People play this game, and I know they've done a lot of revamping on the game for the new consoles, or the new consoles and all of that. Like, there's a
Yeah.
career mode that is essentially a huge tutorial where it will teach you how the online mode works, will
Yeah.
get you geared up and like understanding how, when you're on GTA Online, not the career mode, how everything
Mhm.
is going to work, so you're not starting out with all this chaos and not knowing and everything. So that's a huge thing that you're going to be able to do as well. And you'll be able to bring over like $1 million, like you get $4 million like in the career mode to do whatever you
Yeah.
want with, and you can bring $1 million over into GTA Online. So
Right.
if you spend like 3 million, you would have that million to bring over with your GTA Online character and everything. So, because I know like online is like super confusing, like GTA
Yeah.
Online is like super
100%.
confusing. So
But and I'm sure also because the online's free because of how much, they gave $1 million to PlayStation owners. That's going up until the launch of the PS5 version. So
mhm.
they're like, hey, we're the gift that keeps on giving to the PlayStation people.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm glad that it's finally coming out. I'll be glad when GTA 6 comes out, because like this game came out on the 360 and the PlayStation 3.
Yep. Yep. It's on 3 consoles, on 3 different console generations now.
Absolutely insane. Like
Yeah.
insane in the membrane. So will it die, or will Frankenstein's monster continue on? Only time will tell.
I don't know. Skyrim may be the indicator for that one. It just keeps getting up. New console
True.
or new tech comes out. Put Skyrim on it.
Yeah, exactly. Does it breathe? Put a Skyrim on it.
I mean, they put it on a smart fridge, for the Lord's sake.
Yeah. Murdoch said that he never finished GTA 5. Like, I really enjoyed the story mode. Like, again, this was when it first came out, that I played it and everything, but it was a really solid game. You know, now what I say, hey, go play it. It's got a lot of questionable things in there. So
You know,
you know,
hide your kids, hide your wife.
yeah, definitely. So but that's neither here nor there, because we're moving into our second one, to a little game that I know and that I love. Halo Infinite Multiplayer Season 2 is called Lone Wolves, and it has a release date, maps, and modes.
Question mark. So, 343 Industries has revealed new details on Season 2 of Halo Infinite's multiplayer, including that it will be called Lone Wolves, that it will have new maps and modes, and that it will be released on May 3rd. So, not that far off. Quote, by theme, we mean a core idea that guides the creation of much, but not all, of a season's content. Lone wolf Spartans are hunters, trackers. They're resourceful improvisers operating deep in enemy territory without resupply or support. They're fierce, rugged, and prefer to work alone, but they're still loyal to the Spartan pack. Players will learn more about Spartan Sigurd Eklund, Spartan Hugh Din, and Spartan Commander Lorette Argrina during Season 2 story, which is a mix of cinematics, story-themed events, battle pass items, and more that embody the Lone Wolf's theme. As with Season 1's Tenrai Samurai-esque armor core, Season 2 will also have a fracture event that strays from the Lone Wolf's theme and gives players a unique take on the Spartan look. Season 2 will also see playlist updates, balance changes, new modes, and maps. These include an arena map called Catalyst, a big team battle map called Breaker, a free-for-all elimination mode called Last Spartan Standing, another new mode called Land Grab, and the return of King of the Hill. As a sidebar, though, campaign co-op has been delayed from the start of Season 2, like they said a couple months ago, but 343 is still aiming to release it later in the season. So I don't know how, because I know the first season went way longer than how normal multiplayer events go on. Don't know how long they plan to make Season 2, but they, if it goes on for at least 4 months, if it comes in, let's see, March to July. So if it comes in by late May, early June, well, no, it starts in May, excuse me. So September. So if it comes in like July or like late June, I think that'll be all right.
Yeah, like comes in May. I think May, June, July, August at the latest. Like
Yeah.
finish it up September, the new one.
Yeah.
We don't need, because right now we're November, December, January, February, March, April, like over like
Yeah. It went
6
half a
months.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that is way too long for a season. And like I'm almost done with the season pass. Like
Yeah.
um I know Brandon, I know Murdoch, all of them have already finished the season pass. They're already at 100 on the season pass and everything.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, do we really have to be at this point where um people are like they want to play to enjoy it, but it's like they're not getting rewarded? And I know, like,
Yeah.
we talk about it all the time. Every time we play, it's like, are we playing this to play the game, or are we playing this to get the little rewards? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
gaming has changed so much on that front and everything. So it's like, I feel like, to Murdoch's point right here, I think they're still working on the timing and
Yeah.
everything. And I think that's something they've got to be better about. I know 343 is really trying to avoid crunch. I know that they're trying
Yep.
to avoid, working their employees to death, which I'm totally fine with.
Yeah.
We talk about crunch and how bad it is all the time here.
Yep.
There's something going on though at 343, Derek. And
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen this or not, but there have been several high ranking people at 343 that has left since the launch of the game. This past
Oh,
week,
wow.
the guy that was over multiplayer development left.
I do remember that. I do remember seeing that. Holy
Yeah.
cow. So,
So there's a lot of issues going on, and it's like, okay, is 343 just a stepping stone? Is there other issues going on, and they're trying to quell things by, like not pushing them as hard? Like, what is going on? Is it poor management? Because there are a lot of things that,
yeah.
like, I question, as a player, and like even pros are like real, like they're like, we play this 16 hours a day, and it's like,
Yeah.
there's so many different things, and even Brandon's here, work on desync first. Like, there's no telling how many times I have hit somebody, shot somebody, and desync has just messed me up. Like, and even the other night, like, I shot somebody and I was literally like, their body was here, I shot here, and I killed them. Like, that should not have happened. Like,
No.
you know what I mean? It's like
shooting him in the foot. Headshot. No, that's not how that works.
Yeah, it was like, the chakra off that bullet really did a damage on him when it didn't even hit him. You know what I mean? Like, there are a lot of things going on here, and I'm glad that they're working on all these different things. I think, it's like, once they get multiplayer, like the co-op done, I think they're going to be able to push resources more towards the multiplayer side. And I think Forge is going to be a huge thing that will also breathe a lot of life into the game, like being able to create your own game modes, being able to do crazy courses, like, racing mongooses, and like there's explosions and all this kind of like crazy stuff that was like in Halo 3 and Reach, and all, like, those were a ton of fun to do and just explore people's maps that they've made and everything. So I think, like, the sooner they're able to get out co-op, which I know they're having some issues with that, and get out Forge, they're going to be able to focus on the multiplayer aspect and fix things, because Halo's bleeding players right now, and we play it every week. We play it religiously every week, literally. Like, we do it part of our XP group, like, and we also have our own team and everything, that we're, doing competitions with and all of that. So it's like, we're putting in the time, but it's like we see all these issues, and we only play a fraction of the time that others do. So I'm glad to see that we're getting a new season. It looks cool, getting a new map, getting a new big team battle map. I'm ready for them to continue to put out great stuff, because I love this game. This game, like, I've not put in so much time into a multiplayer game until this one.
So you love to see money well spent invest in your investment.
Exactly. And thankfully the multiplayer is free. But
Yeah.
they've got to get on the free, like if they want to call it free to play, they've got to be on the stick with all the other free to play games with content releases. Like Fortnite would not be what it is if it did not do content the right way.
Yeah. 100%.
You know. So but there's a game that we are excited for. That is the Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga.
Mm-hmm.
We got some details on character collection features and 7 DLC characters, including the Mandalorian.
So they of course, with Lego games, it's been a staple. I know a lot of times season passes are like a dirty word that you don't want to hear muddled, but I prefer season passes over microtransactions any day of the week. But with Lego games, they've done it, but and it's different because they call it character collections instead of doing like extra levels. But I'm fine with that because Lego games are all about unlocking those new characters and trying to use them, especially your fan favorite ones. Many of the characters won't be limited to the Skywalker saga and will include the likes of The Mandalorian and Solo, a Star Wars story, among others, both of which will be available at launch for character collection holders. Alternatively, they can be purchased separately. The Mandalorian Season 1 character pack includes the titular character as well as the non-playable Grogu, Greef Karga, Cara Dune, IG-11, and Queel. Meanwhile, the Solo A Star Wars pack features a young Han Solo, young Chewbacca, young Lando Calrissian, Kira, Tobias Beckett, and Enfys Nest. In addition to the above, the classic characters in the Trooper pack are also coming at launch. The former adds Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Han Solo, Darth Vader, and Lando Calrissian. The Trooper pack adds Death Trooper, Incinerator Trooper, Range Trooper, Imperial Shore Trooper, and Mimban Stormtrooper. There's more too, and with the press blurb confirming content from Rogue One and The Mandalorian Season 2 are on the horizon. Quote, on April 19th, the Rogue One, A Star Wars Story character pack will be available for purchase and will include Jyn Erso, Bodhi Rook, Cassian Andor, K2SO, Chirrut Imwe, Bazi Malbu, and Director Krennic. On May 4th, Star Wars Day, The Mandalorian Season 2 and Star Wars The Bad Batch character packs will be available. The Mandalorian Season 2 character pack will include Ahsoka Tano, Boba Fett, Bo-Katan, Fennec Shand, and Moff Gideon. Star Wars The Bad Batch character pack will include Hunter, Wrecker, Tech, Crosshair, and Echo.
Not Omega.
Omega. Yeah, I know. Like that's maybe down the road. I don't know, but yeah, that's a good point. No Omega. So, but a lot of good stuff, a lot of characters that they're going to add. So, don't know how many. If they're doing all 9 films, there's going to be a ton of characters in there already. But they're not stopping there, Zach.
Yeah, what's interesting is like, we're going to put Luke Skywalker, Leia, Darth Vader. It's like, won't they be like in the game already? Like,
right?
Like, how does that work?
Yeah, it's like 2 plus 2 doesn't equal 4 in this situation.
Like, I unless they're going like a bold direction here and you play as a gonk droid through episodes 4, 5, and 6. Like, I don't understand how you would not have Luke Skywalker,
even better.
Leia.
You get to play as a Jawa through episodes 4, 5, and 6.
Man, they're too furry.
See what you did there. For those who haven't watched Book of Boba Fett, go see it.
But yeah, I'm stoked for it. We're playing Horizon right now. This will be our game club game, I'm sure, as soon as we finish up Horizon and everything.
Yes, sir.
I'm looking forward to it. The gameplay looks great. Seeing that, like getting the Bad Batch in there, that's super dope.
Yeah.
Rogue One in there, all the characters that they're getting from Rogue One, that's a huge pack, it looks like. And then, with everything coming to this game, like I'm down to clown.
Yeah.
Let's keep it coming. Let's keep it going. It's going to be a fantastic game. So I cannot wait for it.
So my question for you is like, they're being very specific with this character collection. And granted, while
Mhm.
playing as the characters, like it's going to be dope to go through episode 4 or like no episode 5 like on Hoth as like Din Djarin.
Yeah,
Like it
yeah.
would be dope to do that. But do you hope that they do some, because they also do like with the new characters like in past Lego games, they also do levels, like new like story levels or whatever.
Mhm.
Do you think with the way they're wording it that we're not going to get any story levels in this one, or do you think that they're just kind of waiting to see how people react?
I think that we're just going to get the characters
Okay.
because the way that this game has been developed, the issues that it has taken, and
Yeah.
the way Star Wars is looking to move away from, or Lego is looking to move away from TT games and everything. I think they're trying to you know, put as much distance as like, hey, we don't want to get into another development cycle on
Yeah.
anything with you. These character
Yeah.
packs are pretty easy. It's like, okay, Ahsoka Tano is going to have force powers. Boba Fett is going to, literally be Boba Fett that's we've had in everything. Bo
Yeah.
Katan is going to be just Boba Fett in Bo Katan's, outfit. Moff Gideon is going to have the dark saber, and he's going to, he's not going to have force powers. He's going to be
Yeah.
like Grievous essentially, but just with one sword.
Right.
It's just like it's a very smaller thing to do, and it's easier to do and go ahead and have the characters polished and everything to be able to
Yep.
put out there than to have, which I would love. I remember back to the Lego Dimensions days and
Hmm.
getting the portals, and like the Doctor Who story was
Oh yeah.
amazing. Getting like the green arrow, you could just drop in and boom, there's a green arrow. Shout
Yep.
out to my boy Derek for getting me that green arrow back in the day.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
like I love Lego Dimensions, but it took a long time for them to do things, and not everybody was wanted that and
Yeah.
everything. So you know,
Yeah.
you know. So I'm excited though, and I think getting those characters, maybe with the support and everything, they might, Lego might continue, maybe not an exclusive relationship with TT, but maybe to
Yeah.
let them, do some other things as long as they clean up how they take care of their employees moving
Yeah.
forward.
a
You
hundred
know.
percent.
But,
So
yep. So I'm excited, but you know what I'm more excited about right now, Derek? I was
our
getting to,
PlayStation news.
yeah, boy. We had a state of play today, and
Hmm.
state of plays are some of the
Roulette.
most it's like PlayStation took a page out of Nintendo's playbook. You don't know what you're getting out of a Nintendo Direct.
Nope.
Sometimes it's like straight fire, and then sometimes it's like, what in the world just happened? Today's
With
was not as disappointing.
No, it wasn't. Now I was gonna say, with the exception of directs, Nintendo has gotten at least better about it by saying it's like, hey, look, we may not come with it all the time, but it's still gonna be a solid direct. Sony's like, we'll just throw a dartboard and talk about this time, and it's gonna be hot dumpster fire, like the one we ended with last year, back in what was it, September, October,
Yeah.
which is before that we got hot fire, like white hot
Oh, I
fire
know.
with that one, and then it's like followed up by a turd in the punch bowl.
Yeah, it's very strange, but let's get into it. First up, that was revealed in the state of play. Capcom reveals Exo Primal coming to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 in 2023. This was like, I was like, is this like, it
Dino
felt
Crisis.
it felt like Dino Crisis and Evolve,
Mhm.
like, and Anthem all like mixed together. And I'm
Right.
like, this is going to do horrible. Like
Well,
like that's the first thing I was like, this is going to do
right.
horrible.
Well, and when I first saw it, because people forget, Capcom's also doing that Pragmata game,
Yep.
which is very
Yep.
like reminiscent. Like when it started, I'm like, all right, space, weirdness going on. This is Pragmata. And then it's like this one. I'm like, okay, Capcom's going to be busy for like next year.
Yeah. And Capcom has done a really good job of riding their ship as
Yes.
well. It's just like it felt like Anthem with dinosaurs. And I
Yeah.
was really like, I don't know how this is going to go because people do not want that kind of game,
No.
you know? So I'm really curious to see what everybody thinks about it. If you haven't looked it up, go look it up. Check out the trailer. It's interesting
Yeah.
to say the least. We got another trailer for Ghostwire Tokyo,
Yeah.
and it's going to be coming out March 25th, so very very soon this month and everything. This game is shaped up like
I
the
was gonna
the
say,
looks and everything. Like I was like, man, this game is actually shaped up to be something worth talking about.
yeah. And when it showed up, like obviously the theme of this, they were going to talk about a few other developers, but it was centered on Japanese developers and
Mhm.
Japanese published games. Um, this one comes up and it's starting to like obviously they want to do one final push because it's the next big PlayStation
Yep.
exclusive. Like we just came off of Horizon, Forza, not Forza, Gran Turismo 7 was just came out last
Mhm.
week. So this is like the next big one in Sony's arsenal. But however, it's like that it's getting that and it's only because it's Bethesda, it's getting a Deathloop vibe where it's like, all right, every showcase we're seeing
Yeah.
this, and I'm like, I don't want this. I'm sorry, like just
Yeah.
let it release and be done with it.
Yeah, exactly. And like I'm glad that they have put out more stuff on it
Yeah.
overall, because it's like, okay, this actually has developed and been well, but this is the last exclusive that Bethesda is going to do for PlayStation.
Yep.
So I think PlayStation is kind of just trying to take it to the bank here.
Yeah, it's like
But
we're gonna get our marketing money.
yeah, this game is super niche though. This is not going to be for a
No.
huge wide audience. And even if it coming out March 25th, we know what everybody's going to be playing, Derek. We know
Yeah.
what everybody's going to be playing. They're going to be playing Elden Ring.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Everybody's going to be
Yeah.
playing Elden Ring. If they're not playing Elden Ring, they're going to be playing Horizon. So that's kind of where we're
Yeah.
at right now. So this is going to be definitely a a niche market and everything. And I think a lot, like it's also like I don't even think it has like English voice actors. I think it's all in Japanese. So like I think that might also have some kind of juxtaposition where some
Yeah.
people's like, I don't want to play a game where I have to read subtitles the whole time.
Yeah.
You know,
But I'm
I'm
sure they'll
fine
have an
with it
English
because
version. I mean,
like we watch anime all the time, so it's like
yeah.
whatever. So it's not that big of a deal. But I know like there are a lot of times where it's like I don't want to read. I'll
Yeah.
watch something that's like in English or whatever. So yeah, there you go, guys. Watch the trailer if you want to, if you're into that. But the next one, we got some Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. We got a new trailer for that, and they were like, guess what, guys? Boom. New
New demo.
demo out today. And I was like, oh dang.
Yeah.
Oh dang. The game looks interesting. Like it's not for me by any stretch of
No.
the imagination, but it does look pretty cool. Like I will say that. I was like, this looks like a mix between like Monster Hunter and like a Souls type game. Like that's what it felt like.
Yeah, 100%. And I kind of got disappointed because while I'm no huge Final Fantasy fan, I'm gonna be honest, but I was
Mhm.
like, oh, we're gonna get 16, show some footage from Final Fantasy 16. And I was like, oh wait, Stranger of Paradise isn't out yet. We got to get through this first.
Yep, yep. Because it's right around the corner, right around the
Yep.
corner. And then I was very surprised that they showed Forspoken at the State of Play with it
Well,
being delayed
I
earlier
was
this
gonna
week.
say, I think that's why they announced the delay because it literally happened like
Mm,
yesterday or Monday. Whenever I texted you,
yeah,
I was just like, oh okay, and then that makes sense because it's at the State of Play event, um, which it's in the quick hits. It got delayed, but I understand it, but it's also like, why would you salt the wound? It's like, okay,
yeah.
it's not 2 months out. It's more like 7 months out.
It's like October 11th, I think, when it's coming out.
Yeah.
But they did show new gameplay and like the traversal and everything. They showed some new different magic. Like there was like a little like wakeboarding part.
Yeah.
Like she was like wakeboarding on the water and everything. The game looks dope. Like I think it's just like getting the game to play well the whole time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I think that's where they're at right now is like they've got the ideas, the idea parts already happen. They've got a lot of good stuff going. It's like, but we need to get it where like it just works the whole time. There's no bugs and all of that. So now they've got till October. And I want to try this game out when it comes out,
Yeah.
just to see what it's going to be like and everything. Because every time I see it, I'm like, that looks really cool. Like
Yeah.
everything they do, it looks really cool. But will it be a game that I want to put 80 hours in? I don't know
Yeah,
yet.
that's the real question.
I don't know yet. And then the curious thing, like I was like, what in the world is going on? We got a trailer for Gundam Evolution.
Yeah.
It will be getting a Western release, and there is a network testing coming in the spring. What this is kind of like a Gundam. It's like Gundam Overwatch.
Yes.
It's probably the best way to explain it, where you have like various Gundams, those are your heroes or whatever,
Yeah.
and like you're fighting for like different points, like your hard points or whatever, or strongholds or domination or whatever. That's one of the game modes they were showing. Um it it didn't look bad. Like,
No,
you know, it
it
had
looked
a
better
very
than that.
cartoony style.
It looked better than that Chibi Gundam thing that they showed at the last Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, yeah. Like it looked more fun than playing it's like Mobile Suit Operation. It's a free game on the
Maximum Boost EX or whatever.
yeah, like I tried that game. It is trash in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like it's really, really hard to play and everything. Dan's like, ooh, Gundam, my thing.
Yeah.
Like I thought about Dan as soon as that popped up today. I was like, Dan's gonna be like jamming on this. It looked actually pretty fun. Like it was kind of like it needs polish. Like I played a lot of Gundam games on the PlayStation 2. I think those are some of the best Gundam games. They're not
Yeah.
great. Like they're not
No.
great, Derek. Darkwing Duck. Like they're not
Nothing to
great,
write home about.
you
But
know, but they were a ton of fun. Like were they clunky? Yes. Was the
Mhm.
camera atrocious? Yes. But it was a ton of fun. So if they
Yep.
can recapture that kind of feel, I'm down for it. 100% down for it. And then this is something for our saint himself, Saint Murdoch. The
Mhm.
TMNT, the Cowabunga collection, is going to feature Turtles in Time, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Tournament Fighters, the arcade game, Back from the Sewer, Fall of the Foot Clan, the Manhattan Project, Radical Rescue, and the Hyperstone coming this year. They showed this off, and I was super surprised, but I was like, dang, that's awesome.
I know. Like the one you didn't expect, but the one that you're glad that they showed.
Exactly. Marduk's like, where can I get this now?
Where's the trigger?
Like, and you know, it's not remasters or anything like that. It's literally like ports of these over. So if you are
Mhm.
into these games, these are going to be awesome for you. So that is coming later this year. It's called again the TMNT, the Cowabunga collection. So
Mhm. Cowabunga, dude.
yeah, exactly. Nate also said, that's awesome. I'm hot for that. I'm
Yeah.
hot. I'm hot.
100%.
That's Nate's voice in my head. Not really. Not really. Do you like big monsters, Derek?
You know, I am a fan of Godzilla.
Do you like the King Kong?
I do.
Well, I got a game for you. Kaiju Brawler Gigabash. Blessing said Gigabash earlier today.
Gigabash.
I was like, everybody was making fun of him. I'm like, good. Gigabash is coming to PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 this year. Again, it's big monsters fighting each other.
Yeah.
It looks like a party game, 100%.
Yeah.
You know, like it looks fun. Like it's not something like you know, I'd play all the time.
Yeah, no, just something like well, it's not like Towerfall where you would play it by yourself, but it's like Towerfall in the sense of like, yeah, I want to get some people together and play it.
Yeah, exactly. Derek, you want to play Gigabash with me?
Yeah, and I'll say we can try it out.
Maybe they'll give us a demo.
Maybe.
You know, that was one of the bizarre announcements, but the most bizarre announcement was
Segue.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fighting game coming this fall will feature 50 playable characters.
And I was hoping that CyberConnect 2 would do this just because they've done the anime fighting games. Like this was definitely out of left field. Like I saw it, I saw the background, and I forget what I said. I'm like, oh, because it was a dark hallway, and I'm just like, Resident Evil 4 remake? Question mark. And then I saw the little like anime exclamation points or whatever, like the anime like center. I'm like,
Mhm.
oh no, this is anime for sure. And then I see like, is this JoJo's? And then like the character pops up. I'm like, oh my gosh, a JoJo fighting game. I'm kind of surprised that it's taken this long, considering how popular JoJo has gotten over the
Yeah.
last several years to do a fighting game. But you know, it's here.
Dan said, "Oh my goodness, JoJo might get it just for the poses."
Oh my gosh.
Like, I'm not playing it. I'll just say that it looks
Yeah.
like Fighter Z, like
Yeah.
at best, like a Fighter Z knockoff kind of deal. So we'll see how it is. But I'm not playing JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fighting game. But Dan might.
Right.
Dan might. Now, this game, Derek, we just came off of last week talking about Sifu.
Yes.
An unforgiving but fun game.
Yes.
And then this trailer popped up today, and I was like, are you trying to tide me over until we got Ghost of Tsushima 2?
Right. I was literally going to say, this screams so many vibes. I'm like, is this the 2.5D interlude for Ghost of Tsushima?
Like, it's like, here's Sifu and Ghost of Tsushima, like, together. It's like, we've got to keep Zach happy.
Yeah.
Like, we got to keep Zach happy because he will call us out on things all the time. So,
Right.
there was a new trailer for a black and white samurai adventure game called Trek to Yumi, coming spring to PS4 and PS5. Guys, y'all should check out this trailer. It is like,
it is dope.
it's dope. It's not all side scrolly, but there's a lot of side scrolling and everything. And then like it's like the mix of like Sifu, Tsushima, and Afro Samurai.
Yes. I was about to say, I got all those vibes, and arguably this is my favorite game announcement of the State of Play.
Yeah, like I was like, dang, that looks dope. Like,
Yeah.
couldn't play it on stream because it's like ultraviolet and everything.
Right.
That's why I'm saying like Afro Samurai, where it's like like spurting
Yeah.
and all of that kind of stuff. But man, it was so dope. So if y'all are into like the samurai thing, I know a lot of y'all are. Trek to Yumi. Again, we need to see more of it. Because
Yeah.
fool me once, shame on you. I also know that the games can be difficult sometimes.
Yes, I know, and it's funny because they showed him in his kimono and his outfit, and it had a mark on it. I'm like, man, that looks awfully similar to like a Ghost of Tsushima emblem. Like, are y'all trying to tie this in at all?
That would be so dope. That would have been so dope.
Yeah.
I would like, dang, that'd been, oof. Yes, go look it
Yeah.
up, guys. Trek to Yumi, coming spring to PS4 and to PS5. And then we got my friends over at Housemark. They made an announcement today. Returnal Ascension and a campaign co-op update is coming March 22nd. We'll also feature
around the
a
corner.
brand new survival mode about scaling a tower, taking out waves of enemies. So that's the Ascension part, is the tower part. It looks super cool. A lot of new enemies and everything. When the co-op came up, I was like, I know who I want to play this with. And I love Housemark. Housemark is a great group of developers. Actually the first developer that I got to talk to was Housemark.
Yes,
Like, do an
100%.
interview back in the day and everything. But yeah, guys, y'all definitely should check it out. I think me and Derek might be getting it to do some co-op and see. Like the co-op looked dope though. Did you watch the trailer?
Yeah, I did. So the co-op looked really dope. I did not expect this coming, but it makes sense because Housemarque's pedigree is arcade games, and what do you do in arcade games? Play co-op.
Yep.
And like you even before like Returnal launch, like in the trailers, you could see the inklings of arcadeness in it, and it only makes sense to add this I wonder how it'll do story-wise, like how it will affect like both players, and like will it like with the cutscenes and whatnot, because I haven't played through it because I saw a roguelike and I'm like, I don't have time to do this over and over again, so I'll just pass on this. But good on them. The survival mode just feeds into that roguelike. It's like, all right, because who doesn't love horde mode or like a wave-based mode? Like those have kind of gone by the wayside. The like games have pretty much left that alone. for the
Yeah.
most
Other
part.
than
So
Gears.
right. So I'm glad to see it make another game developer like use that for their
Mm-hmm.
game.
100%. So I'm super stoked for that.
Yeah.
Stoked for that. Last but not well, we got two more in
Yep.
the roundup here. Square Enix announces new strategy RPG called The Diofield Chronicle comes to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 this year. I wasn't like, oh man, this is super dope. I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, and at first I was like, when they said we got two more games from Square Enix, I'm like, okay, they're definitely leading the showcase. And then the first one was a strategy RPG. I thought it was like Octopath, or like they were
Yeah.
going to say Octopath or Triangle Strategy is going to come to PlayStation, and instead they just do a whole new strategy RPG. It's like, look, we got this on PC and Nintendo Switch. PlayStation, we're going to give you something now too.
Yeah, it's like I know like Greg is like huge on Triangle Strategy right now. He was talking
Yeah.
about that earlier. Like he was really, really enjoying it and everything. So there you go, guys. If you like those strategy RPG games. And then to round out the PlayStation State of Play today, Valkyrie Elysium was revealed for the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 coming this year. Again, this is a Square Enix game and a game not for me, but you know.
No. And I was like, why would you end it with this one? And they had a little stinger, like a teaser at the end. I'm like, okay. But then when I read it, it's like it's a tie-in to, I think it's Valkyrie Profile or the Valkyrie Chronicles. No, not Valkyrie, the Valkyrie Profile game, which the last one of that was like 2006. So they're like kind
Wow.
of bringing back that franchise,
Mhm.
I guess. So I guess that's why it's such a big deal and why I saw some people like excited about it. So it makes sense after reading that. But again, not a game for me. Never got into any of the series, so I think I'll pass on both of these.
Yeah, I love RPGs, but I'm like JRPGs seem a little obtuse in my opinion. I'm not
Yeah.
like huge on the strategy side of things, so but there you go, guys. There is the state of play for this month. I was really hoping, Derek. I was really hoping when
Mhm.
it got to the end. I was like, come on, do it. Do it, Shuhei. Make my
Not with
day.
the theme they were going with. It's Santa Monica. They're United States. They're not Japanese.
Well, it said and other developers around the world, but
I
Housemark
know.
is not a US based company either.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Dan played did there's like a voice thing that I have. It's like, do it. I don't know if it played over, but anyway, there you go. There you go, guys. But Derek is going to take us through the PlayStation quickies. Here we go.
So first off, a weird one and an upsetting one for you, Zach. Gran Turismo 7's cars cost a lot more in-game credits than previous games. So even microtransactions are transitioning to one of the best racing games around. As we talked about earlier, Forspoken has been delayed from May 24th to October 11th. A new Sly Cooper is reportedly due to be unveiled in the second half of 2022. However, an insider claims that it's not being developed by Sucker Punch. What's Bluepoint doing? It's been about a couple years. Time for them to announce something. And lastly, to go off of your God of War vocal chant, new report says God of War live action TV show is in negotiations with Amazon Prime Video.
Okay, before we get into the quick hits and all of that, yeah, I think Bluepoint is the one that's working on this.
Oh yeah,
On Sly
1,000%.
Cooper.
Like with Sucker Punch, they want to strike where the iron is hot with Ghosts, so they want to keep that gravy train rolling. So they don't want to defer resources to that.
Yeah, Murdoch says Sly Cooper. That is still a thing. It's been
Yeah.
dormant for a while. It's been dormant for a while. Like the 3D platformer side of like PlayStation, Ratchet and Clank is the only one that has like survived.
And
Through.
Sackboy to or Little Big Planet.
But that's also like a different kind of like that's a co-op kind of thing as well.
Yeah,
So
that's fair.
it's slightly different, but like your single player 3D platformers and all of that, like Ratchet and Clank's the only one that has survived out of everything. But hey, I would love to see Bluepoint do something totally different because like we got Demon Souls a few years ago or a year
Yep.
ago. No, a few years
No,
ago?
it was 2020. It launched with the PS5.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy. So like, and before that we got Shadow of the Colossus.
Yep,
So
which
like,
was 2 years before that, so it's about time for one.
mhm, yeah, they got a bun in the oven. They're ready. They're ready. And then Gran Turismo, you know, like whatever at this point.
I
What-
know.
Whatever.
Like the gameplay's great apparently, but it's just like when you see this, it's like, no, no, why? Why
Yeah.
you gotta do this?
Yeah. But yeah, the God of War live action TV series. I'm I don't know if I like I kind of agree with Murdoch here. Amazon will screw it up. I I feel like depending on who is over the show. And when they
Yeah.
said the Wheel of Time showrunner is going to be over the show, I was like, ooh, because they didn't stay true to the source material. And I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh, I'm like, I don't know how that's going to go. But I know PlayStation has had a lot more hands on with their stuff and everything. So I'm hoping that we're going to be able to get more and more great stuff. I like that it's going to be a TV show. It gives way more time. Do you think, Derek, are they going to start with Greek God of War, or do you think they start with 2018 God of War, where he's already Norse, and then do flashbacks?
So I think because 2018 was so successful, like granted, the original trilogy was great,
Mhm.
but I think because 2018 was like so memorable and won so many awards and it's like the biggest thing, and then Ragnarok is in the near horizon.
This year.
I think maybe. I think they want to keep with that theme and go with the modern and do flashbacks. But I think the better way is to start from the beginning, because if you're like, for the TV heads who have only like casually seen God of War, it's like, hey, I've heard this is a good series. Let's see what it is. And then the story is convoluted, or it's telling. Like, some people might not care. Some people might be able to put two and two together and like, oh, he had this tragic past from this other life. Cool. And then maybe they get them to go back and do like a Star Wars thing, like the original trilogy type thing, you know?
Yeah.
The prequels. But I think they want to. I think from what the early rumors are pointing to, they're going to do the 2018 game.
Yeah, I think they do 2018. And I'll I'll pull these in real quick. Murdoch says they better start from the beginning. And then
Right.
you know how mad I'll be if they pick up on God of War 4?
Right.
I
I
will
will protest.
protest. Okay, so I'm gonna make here's my pitch. Okay.
Okay.
You start God of War 2018.
Okay.
The best out, like I'm gonna say it right now, God of War 2018 is the best out of all the God of Wars.
Oh, I
Okay.
mean, yeah.
Easy. You start there. You get people in with Atreus. He's like this little kid. You get people like buy in through Atreus, and you're seeing
Right.
all of these things through Atreus's eyes. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And then through that, you're able to start explaining the gods and all of this. And
Mm-hmm.
then you start seeing Kratos having to deal with these issues. The mom's already dead. Like, you start it just like the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the Balder fight. And that's like
Oh,
end
yeah.
of episode 1. Boom, taken care of. And then you start episode 2 with the journey starting and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start having, like, you can have flashbacks. Like, it's easy enough to do it. And like, start explaining like who Kratos was through those flashbacks, and do a good job. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like if Boba Fett would have handled it right,
Yep.
they could have done, like, I love the flashbacks in Boba Fett. I just felt like the pacing of all of that
Yes.
kind of took away from it all. So like, having a good way to kind of bring it in and out, like when the chains, like he picks up the chains, it's like, what
Mm-hmm.
is this? This is so different. And
Yeah.
then, you have the flashback of like who he was and everything. And you don't have to go super far into it. You piece it out as you go through, because if you the only thing that I like with the beginning, like starting from Kratos' start,
Yeah.
is Kratos is such a different person. I think it will alienate more people because
Yes.
all he did, and I love old Kratos as well.
Calliope!
All he did was yell. All he did was
Boy.
yell. Like all he did was yell. Just oh, like swinging like
Yeah.
there was storytelling, but it was not fully fleshed out. Like
Yeah.
2018's was way more fleshed out and everything.
100%.
So I think that's like because you can take that thinner story and put it in the flashbacks. That's
Hmm.
what I feel like it should be better.
Yep.
So and Murdoch, I'm not saying they're not going to tell you the story of the background of Kratos and everything. I think you start where people can get into the story. Like if you bombard people with too much information from the beginning,
Yeah.
and it's like, well, I thought he was like in Norse mythology. Well, I thought this, like people are going to be like questioning because that's the latest thing that they've seen.
Yeah.
So if you start with that and then you can tell more of the backstory, you can, like why is he, this pale? Like why do like this whole family dying? Like you can tell all of those things, but doing it in a way that's not overwhelming.
Yeah.
And I think more people know Norse mythology right now than Greek mythology because of like Thor and all of that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And it's kind of subverting those ideas from the MCU and everything. So I think it would be an interesting way to do it.
Yeah. So I agree. I like where you went with this. So now it's going to be interesting because I think for the Last of Us TV show, I think they nailed the casting.
Hmm.
It's going to be interesting to see who they cast in these roles.
I want Curtis Judd as Kratos.
You mean Chris Judge?
Yeah, Chris Judge. Like that's who I don't know who's Curtis Judd.
I don't know. I guess his long lost twin. I don't know.
Maybe that's who I want because like he's big enough. Like I know he
Yeah.
can get jacked as well, and he's got the voice. Like he literally did all the mocap.
The only problem is, you remember, we talked about it last year. He hurt his back. So,
Mm,
while he was directing, and he talked about, he gushed about how Corey worked with him and Sony worked with him and didn't like rush him back or whatever. So,
true.
I'm not saying he's not healthy or whatever, like that caused permanent damage, but when you hurt your back as you
Yeah.
get older, that wanes on you. So I don't know if he'd be
Yeah.
able to put up with that harsh, especially because Sony and Amazon is not Sony, so they're gonna like work you to death.
Yeah. Well, and we know that like both companies are going to pour money into this.
Oh yeah,
So
1000%.
they're definitely going to there. I see every time I talk about things that like we always gonna get in these conversations. Murdoch says, "Well, why am I not the audience for the series? I paid for its fruition." And he also goes, "Why can't they do the story from the beginning, game one?" And like I think they could if they wanted to, but game one, okay, let's look. God of War 1
Yeah,
came out on PlayStation 2.
yeah,
2005. Okay.
yep.
Derek, can you tell me
No,
the story of God of War 1?
so I know you start off fighting the Hydra, and then you find out,
Like
and then you,
give me a story synopsis. Don't give me like fights. Give me
yeah.
like a
So I know, like, I don't know how it starts, but you get set on this journey. Like, you see Ares, the god of war, trying to take out this town, and you're like, hey, I'm gonna stop him. But then you like find out real quick that he is way too powerful and is gonna kick your butt. So you have to go on a quest to find Pandora's box to be able to get the power to defeat Ares, and then you take up at the end of the game, you take up the mantle as the new god of war.
uh-huh. Now, wasn't Pandora's box like in 2 though?
No, it was in 3.
Okay. So how does he get the power? Okay, recovers
So
Pandora's box from Ares, opens it. Yeah, okay. So yeah,
yeah,
you're right. You're right. So
yeah,
like
I know I'm right.
boy, I will literally I'll slap that beard off of you. Like, yeah, his family dies. His soul to God of War and all of that. Like, I'm not saying it can't happen, but it's like if you start out the series with that, people are going to be lost.
Yeah.
100%. Like, you've got to show so much to be able to get people to buy in, and doing it through the eyes of a child instead of a gruff warrior.
Yeah.
You're going to have moms, you're going to have wives, you're going to have people that don't know anything, that never played the game, buy into this show. Why do people like The Mandalorian? Grogu.
Yes. 1000%.
Okay. Like, is the kid going to be as cute as Grogu? Probably not. At some point in time, he's going to be super annoying and you want to just punch him in the face, because that's how it was in the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, they have to figure out a way to be able to get as many people as possible into the show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think it's going to take telling it a different way than just going straight from, okay, we're going game one. Like, 2005 is a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like, that's 15 years ago. No, 17 years ago.
Yeah, I was going to say 17.
Yeah. So, like, a lot of people don't even remember.
Nope.
You know, so
we've had an entire generation who never grew up, probably don't even know what a PS2 is.
Probably not, which is kind of sad.
I know.
Which is kind of sad. But Derek, you know what's not sad? We've got quick hits. That means the show's not over, guys. You don't have to cry yet. You don't have to cry yet. So, Derek, take us away.
So, to start off, Hitman 3 March roadmap includes the collector elusive target and arcade contract changes. New report claims Star Wars Eclipse release now aiming for 2027, which now it's like, why even show it? Like, we're 5 years away. Like, why even show it? This is like Dragon Age 4 and Dragon Age 4 and Mass Effect 4 all over again. Sea of Thieves Season 6 features mini-raid sea forts, new pirate legend voyages, and more. House of the Dead remake hits Switch on April 7th. Activision Blizzard admits it's having problems hiring and retaining talent. You don't say. I wonder what could play into that. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet might return to traditional catching mechanics. Elden Ring competitive DLC is hinted at in a hidden area. Dying Light 2 developer, quote, seriously considering a new game plus mode. Fall Guys adding Astrobot with new event. Microsoft says mouse and keyboard support for xCloud is coming. Nintendo Switch Online's mobile app finally lets you see which friends are online. Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire no longer in development for Switch. Speaking of Fortnite, X-Men's Gambit and Rogue will join the Fortnite roster. Bethesda says Fallout 76 has a 5-year roadmap. Lost Judgment: The Kaito Files DLC releasing later this month. New World of Warcraft expansion will be revealed next month. Battlefield 2042's newest update finally adds a scoreboard. Future Games Show Spring 2022 Showcase kicks off March 24th and will premiere 8 new games. Tiny Tina's Wonderland's endgame Chaos Chamber dungeon revealed. Capcom to showcase a 20-minute stream revealing new details for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak expansion next week. And finally, another concerning one, we talked about Lego splitting from TC Games. WWE is reportedly expected to split with Take-Two and could move to EA to publish future WWE titles, which is a bad move in my opinion, and you're going to send that franchise out to die.
See, okay. WWE 2K22 just came out.
Yeah, which is great. Apparently it's great.
Yeah, and like, I know 2020, I think that was the last one. 2021? It was the one that was really bad.
2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was 20. Yeah, it
was really, really bad.
Yeah.
And I think that's why WWE is looking to take their ball and go home.
Yep.
Maybe this one, like, if I was WWE, I wouldn't have even let them make another game. I would have just wrote out the contract and be like, we're done. what they need to do, if they do decide to go to Take-Two or even EA, they need to put a clause in there. If you make a horrible game, if you make a piece of trash, we have the option to leave this contract.
Right. And case in point, like another reason, not just because it's another sports title that they're just going to microtransaction the mess out of, it's also the fact of like, look who else, what in recent memory did a contract with EA and it did not bear a lot of good fruit. Star Wars did like a 10-year deal and they regretted that thing like 3 years in probably. And it's like, oof, like we can't wait to get out of this contract and like not do this again. And it's like, why would you want to sire yourself to like this company that's not had a great track record of churning out hit after hit, especially how they annualize, how they do their annualization sports games. And it's like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, and I feel like Take-Two was like, they did this delay because normally it's a fall release for WWE, and they delayed it till spring. It bared fruit, but I think they did it was to prove to WWE, it's like, hey, look, we can make a good game with time, and WWE's like, too little, too late, son. You're done.
Yeah, I'll be curious if they stay.
Yeah, me too.
With 2K, them, maybe they, use them kind of, courting EA to get 2K to get a better deal. They get a better revenue share out of the game and everything, and have something more favorable in the contract side of things, because WWE is very smart in that endeavor part of it. But I'm going to pitch you an idea, Derek. I'm an idea man. I like different things. I like to try, things out. So here we go. Let's say WWE drops 2K. Okay. They're looking for a studio that knows how to make sports games.
Oh, are you about to say San Diego?
Man, let me get to the daggum point, boy.
I'm sorry.
We'll just edit that out. Guys, don't even act like you just heard that.
Means I'm right.
So let's say WWE drops 2K. They don't go to EA. Okay. There's another sports game maker out there in the wild, and they're getting strung along by their current business partners. Okay. They're having to put their thing on platforms they don't even develop for. And they're just like, we're not going to do this anymore. We're not going to take it. And they're like, okay, you can take this franchise. We're going to take WWE. So San Diego Studios picks up WWE and makes their games.
Okay. While it would be great, and I think they would do a fantastic job, for one thing, the MLB would like the only reason they kept that contract is to be able to, like the only reason that was the big stipulation to keep the contract was, hey, you got to put it on other platforms, which I think in the long run, San Diego's like, hey, we make money. We do a great job with this. People are buying it. So what's there to argue about as long as the money's printed? And I'm not saying like developers don't get tired of the same old shtick, but at the same time, why would they trade, especially since, annual sports release, why would they trade one for another other than like, oh, we just want the challenge of seeing if we can do a wrestling game? I don't know. Like, I think the more likely thing is Sony just beefs up and adds a second team to San Diego and they do the wrestling game. Like, I don't think unless like something just falls off the face of the earth, I can't foresee them just dropping MLB altogether. Yeah. I think it's more likely to just fold in WWE and just like how Sony's been doing with other studios, just pumping money to grow it and just let them do multiple projects.
Yeah, because I was looking to see how much like WWE makes a year, how much does the MLB, and these are some older numbers. MLB from 2019 made 10.7 billion with a B.
Wow.
Dollars. And then WWE made 24 million. So yeah, exactly. So but hey, it would be dope to see San Diego do something new
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
different. You know, and they don't even have to do it exclusive. They could literally put it out on everything else, but
Right.
like that would be super dope. I think that would be a really cool thing to see.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know,
Yeah.
that was my idea.
Yeah.
My idea. Derek.
Bearing the lead. I know. I'm sorry.
You gotta let me like work on, you know what I mean? I gotta get people like
Look,
frothed up in a frenzy. That's how we do this, Derek.
Look, I'm sorry. I just jumped the gun. I'm Tony Romo. I'm Doctor Strange. I see all the infinite possibilities sometimes ahead of time. I'm just not as powerful as he is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but at least he kept his mouth shut. You know what I mean? Like he was like, one. You're over here like, blah, blah, blah. It's like.
Well, as we learn, I can't control my spoilery mind sometimes.
Because y'all see what I got to deal with. What you should do, guys, is go support us over on patreon.com/nerdcave, because I got to deal with this every week. Every week I got to deal with this mess.
You sound like a charity case.
I got to deal with this every week. This Joe Schmo Bush League racing over here. I'm racing on Sunday. He's racing on Saturday. Let's just say it right here. I'm racing on Sunday. He's racing on Saturday.
You pushed an envelope of me just saying the unmentionables just to get me kicked off of the show so I can leave early.
I'm not even, I was going to be really mean, but I'm not. But you can go support us over on patreon.com/nerdcave. Use our Epic creator code NerdCave on the Epic Game Creator, the Epic Game Store, that place where the Epic Games are, guys. Do you want to be epic? Use our creator code. And you should check out our podcast version where I put something funny at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's a hidden thing. You don't even know. You should go check it out. You should go check it out. Give us a 5-star review. How many stars, Derek?
5.
20. I want you to review it 4 times. Log into one account, review it. Log into another account, review it. Log into 2 more accounts. Come on, guys.
A lot of people have several emails, a lot of them old ones that they can't access anymore, so it's okay. Just use those.
Yeah, exactly. Take one for the team. Guys, give me 30 minutes of your time. You know, I'm not like I'm you know gonna like try to convert you. I'm not wearing a white button-up shirt with black slacks and riding a bike around. Like I'm here to entertain. Here to entertain and inform. Dan's like, you got to release the version of this stream, one regular and then the uncut. The uncut one. Derek, do you know what Uncut Gems is?
Repeat that last part?
Never mind. You done. That's done gone. That's
yeah,
gone.
okay.
All right, guys. Well, that does it for the show. This has been Zach.
And Darkwing Duck.
Let's get dangerous. All right.